Floyd Wallace wants you to pay his fines so he can leave for a sex tour. Plus, Wallace returns to say he needs nearly $10,000 a month just to date American women. Kidman audits the outside of a dentist's office. For reasons? Long Island Audit disappoints in his latest confrontation video. New special prosecutor named in Karen Reed murder case. James Freeman wants a judge to stand trial for something she already had been tried for. Financially wrecked Chille DeCastro says they ruined his YouTube channel and he's going to need to start a new one. What the hell is he smoking? Plus, 2 brief looks at the GoFundMe market, right here on Auditing Insanity. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Auditing Insanity Newscast. I'm Jim Finch and I'm going to be your host for a combined newscast for Wednesday and Thursday. We've got stories on James Freeman, Long Island Audit, Chille DeCastro, Floyd Wallace, Kidman, and Karen Reed tonight. As it's the second day of high pollen counts in the area, I'll be going quickly as I'm going to rush through this intro. And to get back to feeling dynamite, I'm going to end this early as I ask you to focus on... Wallace won't shut up, market goes into coma. After nearly a month without updates from YouTuber Floyd Wallace, his audience seemed to be a bit put off by Wallace's second live stream in a row and his complete lack of anything to talk about on Tuesday. Wallace, often pausing to go silent or briefly stream inspirational content from someone else's live stream, continued his plea to have his fans contribute directly to paying his nearly $800 in fines from a conviction in Grayson County, Texas for resisting arrest, search, or transport. The YouTuber distributed a direct link and his case number and pled with his fans to pay a minimum of $5 to this fine via the link. He warned that he would not be able to fully embark on his sex tourism vacations until the fine was paid, and that if his fans wanted to see his channel thrive, he must be fully free. Revealing his plan to leave the United States for at least a year in order to grow his channel, Wallace said he was considering selling his recently purchased car for $500. He claimed despite an accident that caused severe damage to the car that he could not afford to fix, the car runs good, but would be expendable should he be allowed to leave the United States as planned. As part of Wallace's current deferment program, he is able to leave the United States for up to 21 days, as long as he gets approval from his probation officer and shares the location he'll be staying at with the court. According to Wallace, the restriction ends at the end of his deferment period, and the charge will be stricken from his record. Wallace also again claimed that he could shorten the length of his deferment period from 6 months to 3 months by paying off his fines. He then again implored his viewers to either pay his fine directly or contribute directly to his Cash App, with their donations marked to be used to pay his fine. He also claimed that he wanted to get a continuance in his court case in Norman, Oklahoma, set for October 1st, 2024. He previously said he wanted to stop his pending plea deal and fight the charges with a new attorney. He did not repeat that statement on this live stream. Bragging that he was in contact with several women in Colombia, Wallace joked that he would be selling the contact information of an acquaintance named Priscilla, as he implied that he no longer needed her number. Wallace also extended his comments on American women, calling it unfair that American women expect men to work for anything and to prove themselves before giving up sex. He praised Brazilian women, who he found to be more sexually open, and claimed he had the most sexual success in Brazil. Ignoring warnings from fans, Wallace also said that he was considering going to Haiti for the African experience. He said that he was not at risk for kidnapping, as he could handle himself despite warnings from his chat. Finally, Wallace updated the Passport Bros reality show he previously claimed to be under consideration to be a cast member for. Wallace said he heard from one of the producers that the show was indefinitely suspended due to lack of promotion. Wallace's return again did nothing to impact the market, as our own ongoing expenses account won the day with a $10 take from our hate watcher. On that note, if you'd like to stop a young and vibrant Pennsylvania-based YouTuber losing his clothes and finding his inner hedonist as he goes live like Bigfoot instead of producing new videos, he could pass for a cryptid, believe us. We'd be remiss if we didn't remind you that you can continue to force the college dropout and known cryptid Jim Finch to keep writing this dreadful column each day by contributing to the GoFundMe run by this very channel. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. Long Island Audits confronts controversial Union City mayor. In another example of the decline of his channel, Sean Paul Long Island Audit Riaz released an edited video with the premise that he was going to confront Union City, New Jersey Mayor Brian P. Stack, but instead turned the bulk of the confrontation over to Leonard Leroy Truth Filipowski. Filipowski famously was arrested 2 months ago at a Union City Council meeting after making disparaging comments about the mayor and the city council. This resulted in other auditors from across the United States attempting to confront Stack, including a famous incident where James Freeman Springer and Josh Accountability for All Abrams were threatened with arrest for entering the mayor's office area. This culminated in a mass gathering of independent journalists in early August, supposedly organized by Riaz, where various YouTubers gathered in Union City to essentially run amok for an afternoon inside and outside of the city hall and the surrounding area. That gathering was hailed as a success, but exposed the underbelly of the YouTube independent journalist culture, as a clash of extreme personalities of independent journalists resulted in some very high-profile feuds and channel fights that continue to this day. Riaz joined Filipowski on his recent return to the Union City Council meeting in order to confront Mayor Stack during the public comment portion of the meeting. Riaz initially spent most of his allotted time singling out the city clerk for sitting with her back to the audience while addressing that audience. The YouTuber said he believed it was illegal for her to do so, and complained bitterly that he was near the front row and couldn't understand what she said. He then was largely ignored by the mayor and city council members as he went into his prepared speech about First Amendment violations. He also called the mayor to drop the cyberbullying charges against Filipowski. Filipowski then took the podium where he repeated essay and allegations against the police officer and best friend of the mayor made by a police dispatcher in the past. He then bellowed that the mayor turned Union City into a cage where police officers were free to have unwanted sexual relations with whomever they liked without reparations. Filipowski ran out of his allotted time as he was in the middle of accusing the mayor of covering up the alleged essay, and this is where the lazily edited video abruptly ends. For his part, the mayor offered no reaction to either Riaz or Filipowski and continued to shuffle and read papers in front of them during the entire length of their confrontations. The video seemed to be bait and switch to many. Riaz only offered his standard speech on the First Amendment, took no risks at all in his supposed confrontation of the mayor, and left the actual confrontation to Filipowski, then seemed to lose interest as fast as he could count the revenue generated by the video. As of press time, the video has had 275,958 views. Katie Kidman audits evil California dentist. YouTuber Katie Kidman took a break from filming rolling rallies for presidential candidate Donald Trump and illegally auditing from inside California public schools in order to film a riveting audit of the outside of a dentist's office. The YouTuber, joined by fellow YouTubers Nasty Nathaniel and Matthew the King, stood outside of the dentist's office for a good portion of a recent afternoon to film what they could see inside of the building, as the office did not have blinds installed on their windows. Kidman was upset at the evil, unnamed dentist, as she did not like how she was treated during a recent procedure and was thrown out of the office mid-procedure after getting into an altercation with the dentist. Kidman complained that the local community health center referred patients to the dentist and apparently put her in a situation where the dentist could leave her bloody and ripped her teeth out without care for her comfort or her safety. The trio walked up and down the sidewalk in front of the building filming, describing what they could see and mocking the dental staff for making makeshift blinds out of flattened cardboard boxes in order to protect the privacy of their patients. At one point, Nathaniel engaged a stopped driver who asked them what they were doing. The driver said that she was the mother of one of the patients that they were filming and was concerned that the trio was filming her daughter without consent. After explaining that they could film anything they could see in public, the trio then called the dentist a butcher, and when the mother drove off, assured their fans that the mother was now going to take action against the dentist. The point of the audit was unclear, as they did not identify the dentist, nor did they disrupt service. A few measures were put in place to protect the privacy of the patients in the rooms that could be seen from the street, but no other reactions were made by the inhabitants of the building. Kidman, who again has devoted her time to filming Trump trains, where she helps to disrupt traffic on behalf of the former president, seemed confused at times during the video, but continued to accuse the dentist of being a butcher before ending the live stream. YouTuber Kidman still lives in her famous blue van and dodges trespassing charges each night by parking her van in a random residential neighborhood across California. Freeman campaigns for arrest of sitting judge. The Neil Mertz Judicial Complex in Torrance County, New Mexico, saw the return of YouTuber James Freeman Springer Monday night as he stood in front of the complex to alert people to a campaign he was fully backing. Freeman spoke on behalf of a petition to file manslaughter charges against Judge Shannon "Murder" Murdoch, who he says hit and killed a bicyclist in 2019 in Torrance County. Murdoch passed field sobriety tests at the scene of the accident and was given a ticket for misdemeanor overtaking a vehicle on the left. She received a deferred sentence and paid $82 in court costs. The charge was later dismissed as part of a deferment program. A wrongful death lawsuit was filed in 2020 against Murdoch and her employer, the 7th Judicial District Court of New Mexico, which was settled out of court. Freeman explained that he would be helping to take signatures to petition to have manslaughter charges filed against Murdoch. As part of those efforts, he will be outside of the Mertz County Judicial Complex, where Murdoch works, on Wednesday and Thursday, and needed another 205 to 230 signatures of registered voters in Torrance County. The YouTuber explained that the statute of limitations to file charges against the judge ended on Saturday, so they needed a massive influx of real voter signatures immediately in order to have the petition stand a chance to achieve its goal. Freeman did not explain how bringing the judge up on new charges for a crime she was already convicted of would not violate New Mexico's double jeopardy laws. While the judge was not charged with manslaughter, she was still tried and found guilty of the accident that led to the death of one of the two bikers she hit with her car. Also of note, and admitted by Freeman on the live stream, Freeman is currently actively suing Judge Murdoch in an ongoing lawsuit. Freeman filed suit against the entire 7th District Court system last year after Judge Mercedes Murphy limited Freeman's access to buildings in the 7th District after multiple acts by Freeman of disruption. An order was issued by Murphy requiring Freeman to have a member of law enforcement serve as his escort while he was conducting business within facilities belonging to the 7th District Court system. Freeman sued over the ruling, and the lawsuit is currently before an appeals court after being dismissed earlier this year. We will update should Freeman go live for the petition drives this week. Chille DeCastro to start new channel? A lot has been made about Jose Chille DeCastro's claim on Wednesday that they killed his channel and that he had no choice but to start a new channel. The announcement itself had no impact on the market at all, with our own ongoing expenses fund winning the day with a $10 take and absolutely nothing going to DeCastro's fundraising efforts. DeCastro is right in one regard: his channels are in free fall. As of this morning, the main Delete Laws channel is down 70% in new subscribers for the past 30 days, and down 58% new views. His DLZ Clips channel is doing better, with flat new subscriber growth for the past 30 days and a 2.4% drop in viewership. However, his American Patriot channel is spiraling hard, with a flat subscriber growth for the past 30 days and a 167.3% decline in viewers. DLZ Clips was set up to be DeCastro's backup channel and features simulcast versions of his live streaming. American Patriot was designed to feature his footage from Ironton, Ohio, shot in 2022, where he set himself up as the hero of Ironton, despite the real outcome being anything but. It also features simulcasts of his live streams. Both channels were set up at a time where DeCastro had enough viewers to support 3 channels, but his channel was in decline even then. DeCastro burst on the scene in 2022 with a siege on Ironton, Ohio, and became the latest locale fad for most of the year. He was an easy video for most creators, as his stupidity and controversial antics kept his name in the news, and everyone seemed happy with the arrangement. DeCastro would do something or say something outrageous, stupid, or funny, and at least a dozen channels would react to it. The arrangement was great for everyone, as everyone was making money off of it, including DeCastro. But DeCastro got greedy. He wanted a share of the revenue from everyone who used his videos. That's when he began to content strike everyone who used his videos, taking down some big-name channels, at least temporarily, and then embarking on filing a lawsuit in an attempt to get revenue out of the reuse of his content. Reaction videos pretty much began to quickly decline after the first lawsuit turned into a copyright lawsuit and brought in YouTube. By mid-2023, only the Welsh News Network would touch his material on a regular basis, re-airing his nightly broadcasts in their entirety while providing transformative commentary to the point where YouTube wouldn't shut the channel down. By July of 2023, DeCastro was bringing in 50,000 new subscribers a month. Accusations began as far back as the fall of 2022 that DeCastro was buying subscribers and views. YouTube itself declined to give DeCastro a silver plaque or any recognition for his tremendous growth due to content violations, even a year after the lawsuit against the company was dismissed. The fall of 2023 was not kind to DeCastro. He split with partner Colin Project Constitution Campbell and put an end to his lucrative TikTok-centered channels. DeCastro would eventually take on an infomercial format, doing nightly 3-hour desperate pleas for his fans to buy his trifolds and his then-new 5A cop cards, like a pitchman on late-night paid promotional television. By February of 2024, DeCastro's numbers were still steady, but he wasn't pulling in the 50,000 to 70,000 new subscribers per month, with declines back to roughly 1,000 new subscribers a day, which DeCastro attributed to his tremendous performance in YouTube Shorts. And then DeCastro went to jail in March of 2024. Everything declined to negative growth. Only attorney Michael Eline's vertical format live streams would pull in the huge numbers that DeCastro was accustomed to, and once he returned from jail, DeCastro's delayed return to live streaming and his refusal to mimic whatever Eline was doing to get so many viewers has put his channel in a spiral when it comes to new subscribers and views. He also lost his final foil while he was in jail. The Welsh News Network's dissolution in May ended the only channel that was giving him regular coverage coverage by restreaming his content. While other channels briefly touched on his stupidity, no one else restreamed him to the market of hate watchers who were keeping his name alive within that community. For all of his losses, DeCastro's not losing subscribers. He's never had a period where his subscriber base has declined more than 1,000 subscribers at a time for the decline to show in Social Blade. Other than his regulars and newcomers, his chat usually consists of the same handful of moderators and friends, and has never the high attendance levels of other auditors with less subscribers than DeCastro has. In fact, his live streams rarely see more than 500 viewers attend live, and most recently he's complained that he's had under 300 people across all of the YouTube and external platforms. When a video receives large numbers of viewers, they mysteriously come after most of DeCastro's audience is asleep. When DeCastro split with Colin Campbell last year, Campbell said that he was unaware of DeCastro buying subscribers or views. DeCastro has always denied it, and there have been campaigns where detractors have bought batches of likes on certain videos that outweighed the actual views of those videos. Whatever Elon was doing, he took it to his channel after DeCastro returned from jail, and DeCastro hasn't emulated his style for the quick views and subscriber gains. DeCastro has also suffered losses with financial backers. Gone are the days where he'd get thousands of dollars a month from a revolving network of female fans who would shower him with super chats. He no longer has the power to do fundraisers, and his incredible legal bills from hiring lawyers to represent him in various civil and criminal cases has made some speculate that he simply can't afford to buy subscribers or views. They point out that he's bleeding money to the point where he's selling friendship bracelets and other trinkets on his website to try to drum up support from his failing viewership. DeCastro said that he was going to have to start a new channel and give up his Delete Laws empire because they destroyed that channel. It seems pretty obvious that it wasn't they, it was DeCastro himself, and starting over might not go as easily or return him to glory as fast as he thinks it will. On that note, if you'd like to keep us from desperately starting over to jumpstart our own failures, we'd be remiss if we didn't remind you that you can continue to force the college dropout known cryptid Jim Finch to keep writing this dreadful column each day by contributing to the GoFundMe run by this very channel. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. New prosecutor announced in Karen Reed case. Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey announced on Wednesday that Hank Brennan had been appointed as a special assistant district attorney who has been assigned to take over the Karen Reed murder case. Brennan released a statement that he is assuming all responsibility for the prosecution of the case and will do so methodically, ethically, and zealously without compromise. The attorney also said that they would ensure that Reed receives a fair trial and that the facts surrounding O'Keefe's death are fully and fairly aired in the courtroom without outside influence. Karen Reed is accused of murdering her then-boyfriend John O'Keefe in January of 2022 by allegedly ramming her car into him and leaving him for dead after dropping him off at a friend's house for an after-party after a night of drinking. Reed's defense team said that Reed is innocent of all charges and that a huge conspiracy is responsible for the charges against Reed, as others murdered O'Keefe and left him for dead in order to frame Reed for the murder. The first attempt to try Reed for the charges ended in a hung jury in July of this year. Brennan's statement that he would be fighting outside influence would be key to the prosecution. In the first trial, Reed's defense strategy was to mobilize supporters, including Aidan Turtleboy Kearney, to prosecute the prosecution's case in public, promoting wild conspiracies, and even resorting to verbally attacking O'Keefe's family in his efforts to defend Reed. Kearney himself, who was charged with multiple felony counts of witness intimidation related to the case, secured press credentials and is alleged to have embarked on a campaign to intimidate witnesses with his presence in the courtroom, having to be removed from the courtroom when those he had been accused of intimidating were testifying. As special prosecutor, Brennan will be working with Norfolk County Assistant District Attorneys Adam Lally, Laura McLaughlin, and Caleb Schillinger. Lally was the primary prosecutor for the first first trial, offering a workmanlike approach to his prosecution while receiving criticism of being boring and for putting on dubiously qualified expert witnesses to testify. Karen Reed's retrial is expected to begin in January of 2025. Wallace spills tea on American women. YouTuber Floyd Wallace went live for the third consecutive day on Wednesday, sharing his feelings on American women and making a plea to his viewers to pay for his penalties on a Texas conviction so he can return to his life of sex tourism. Wallace said he considered American women to be on the same level as American men, as he didn't see the point in attempting to date them. His main complaint with women in America seems to be his belief that he cannot make enough money to satisfy their needs, as they reject men who make less than $10,000 a month and call them broke ass. He also bemoaned the fact that single moms in America, who he used to be able to take advantage of for sex, have also caught on to this trend, and that to date a single mom in America now means being financially responsible for her and her children before she offers sexual favors. Comparing American women to women in Brazil, Wallace gleefully stated that women in Brazil will have sex with an American man immediately after meeting them, and the only time a Brazilian woman would ask a man to wait was if she was on her, quote, time of the month. The YouTuber admitted that he knew that women treated him differently as an American when he's outside of the United States, but also offered that his buying power and his ability to support the woman was the best thing that happened to the woman, and their brief time together would be the best time of the woman's life. Wallace bragged that the women outside of the United States will forgive American men for any transgressions, and any breakups will not last long, as women always return to the sexual relationship because an American man is the best they can get. Warning against getting serious with the women, Wallace warned that marrying or having children with the women is out of the question to him. He repeatedly stated that he was out to bang, and he was not interested in a long-term relationship. He also preached honesty and said that he was always upfront with the women he dated about his status as a felon within the United States, and most women did not care about his background since he was an American. Wallace did not address if being open and honest means revealing his true identity to the women, as his dating profiles and past behavior indicates that he uses the alias Terry when interacting with women overseas. Continuing to beg for his chat to pay the nearly $800 in fines for the Texas conviction, he offered to sell the shirt he was wearing to a viewer for a $200 Cash App donation, and then offered 3 months of managing moderator status on his YouTube channel to anyone who donated $10. Wallace revealed that he only needed another $745 in donations to pay for his Texas fine, which would allow him to end his deferment program early if paid. While he says his travel is not restricted while he's in the deferment program, he implored his fans to continue to help out as he had an urgent need to return to sex tourism. And we're back and out of here for tonight. Since Rose is currently circling me online telling me to take my pills and get some rest so I can talk tomorrow, I think I'll do that. She's a beautiful yet scary young woman when she gets angry, and yeah, I really don't want to see her when she's really angry. My bed is calling after our all-star panel tonight. Tomorrow will be a better day. Tomorrow will be a better day. Tomorrow will be a better day. Oh, hell. Good night, all.